Ooh, testing. All right. Now we're back. All right. So here I am. I will be running these wonderful people through the world of darkness, and probably the terrible consequences for each and every one of their actions. As for announcements from me, let's see. We just have this wonderful game. Check me out on Twitter for a full list of all the games I'm up to, because there should be a few of them starting up so close to the end of the holidays that you would be interested in finding out about, as well as a few interesting ones that may be coming down the pipeline. Then I guess we're going to go ahead and start introducing these wonderful people here to you. And this time, I think we're going to start with Kira.
Hi, I'm Kira858, and I'm playing Chiharu, the monk, who is just trying to understand the way of the world, perhaps through harsh lessons, some perhaps light ones, and make sure that his cabal does not get ripped to pieces if they enter the wrong house or the wrong location. And that's me.
When has
We
that
all
ever
have
happened?
dreams. We all have dreams.
Wrong neighborhood.
Pretty much.
Next up, Carly.
Hi, I'm Carly, and I will be playing Bonnie, who is the group's resident spooky season fanatic, and also almost got fake married last session.
Did you say almost got fake married? No, we definitely got fake married.
Definitely got fake married, but almost got. Well, there was the threat.
Because I heard about it from your mother. Yeah, it was.
Well, my mom just can't keep a secret.
Or take a joke, apparently.
Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Hey, next up, Quinn, your turn.
Hello, my name's Quinn Sellers. I play Dungeons & Dragons and other things. You could follow me on Twitter at QSellers or the Mercenary Storyteller. But tonight I'm playing Eric, a mage who's fake married, but not cursed like his fake wife. So, there's that.
Whatever happened to in fake sickness and in fake health?
I mean, your health is fine, darling. Your wardrobe, though, could use a little
I'm
work.
feeling a little sick, though.
Oh, wow. Attacking the clothes. I see.
But anywho's, thanks for joining us, guys.
Stay by my side in fake sickness.
If I remember, we ended last episode with me testing the boundaries of this clothing curse and realizing it only affected one of us, and I was deuces.
That is the case.
Hey,
all right.
vows.
Last but certainly not least, Sir Monolith.
Hi, I'm at Sir Monolith on the Twitter. I'm not super active there. Today I'll be playing Oliver, our resident big things come in small packages. And yeah, I'm excited to see where the rest of the story takes us.
All right. Now, it has been about 2 days since our last session, and so far things seem to be going relatively well for you all. You have settled into the compound. After some misunderstandings early on, you all find yourselves getting along with the werewolf and kin around the area. Some of you have been invited to do some more exercises. Some of you are having a bit harder time with that than others. But we are joining, and we'll say about 10 a.m. on the next day, and for all intents and purposes, we'll say it is the Monday before Halloween. So I ask for you all, what would you all like to do?
These are good questions. I would want the group. Let's correct this. Eric would definitely not want to seek out Bonnie's mom. But if I remember correctly, we were hoping to get a call line to the mages back home for a small sum of $40,000. So I'd like to know how that's going. I just don't want to be the person to do that because now I feel like it's awkward. I'm just gonna stay in my room until I'm called.
All right, so Eric is hiding. What about the rest of you?
Well,
Strategically relocated. I mean, hiding's a strong word.
strong but accurate.
Same, but different, but same. Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. Sometimes it's the better part of valor, right? I'll probably just be trying to see if I can learn some more about these black spiral dancers and the stuff that Chiharu was talking about. Because I don't know anything about that, and it's interesting, and I like learning things.
Okay. All right, we'll say since you have access to Chiharu's family, I will say you can make the roll. The difficulty will be 7, and you can do intelligence plus either occult, esoterica, or research if you have it, and then add 1 dice.
Okay. Okay. So intelligence plus occult, esoterica, or research. Let's go with. I mean, it doesn't really matter if I go with occult or esoterica; they're the same. +1. You said DC 7. Let's see what we got. Oh my god!
All right.
Why does it say dice pool 3?
Really good. Yeah.
What did it said? It rolled 4 dice. Did you?
It should have
No,
rolled.
Fuzzy rolled 5 dice. Yeah, Fuzzy rolled 5. No, 2.
Should be
4,
4, 5, 6, 7 dice.
Okay, so it said you rolled 6 dice. So roll 1 more. It says you subtracted a dice instead of adding a dice.
Oh, I thought I put in 1, not -1, so I thought I was supposed to add 1. But it's DP's dice penalty. My bad.
That is true. You need a success.
Oh,
you did not get a success.
that is not a
That is
success.
worse. Your situation is worse than it was before. It's good. So you do some digging and you attempt to gain some assistance from the others around you, but they are all very busy, so you aren't really able to get a good sit down with them. But you do come across several pieces of information. The first is that apparently Black Spiral Dancers are the names of werewolves who are not friendly with other werewolves. From what you can tell, they have like a tense relationship or for some reason. They seem to be working with some other spiritual entity. You have a hard time getting through the parts that you know are incorrect about some mother spirit or something, but you find that apparently they disagree on which spirit they should be serving. To you, it comes off as very almost like children fighting over which toys to use. Especially from what you've learned from the order, you don't find anything relevant to you. It all sounds very pointless. It's almost like reading about children's squabbles to you.
Yeah, that tracks. It sounds about right. Silly werewolves.
All right, so I guess that leaves Chiharu and Bonnie. What are you all doing this morning?
Well, Chiharu is a early riser, so I feel with the others already participating in outside activities, Chiharu also knowing that soon this time will be up and they will have to return back to the chantry, will make use of participating in their family's exercise rituals for as much as they can. So I feel like they would be knee deep in the runs and the obstacle courses that's performed while they still can.
Okay. So you join in, and this time the exercises are a bit more involved. Instead of just a run through, it's featuring much more hand to hand combat training. Roll me your dexterity in either brawl or martial arts to see how well you do. Difficulty will be 7.
Okay. So fortunately, I have a skill that allows martial arts skill sets to be reduced by 1. Uh, you said dexterity and martial arts?
Yes. Or
Okay.
if you have a dough, you can use that instead.
Oh, I do, but my martial arts, I believe, is higher. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's definitely higher. I will go ahead and use that. Okay. Of 4 successes.
All right, with 4 successes, you do pretty well. You've managed to go through what gets set up as kind of a makeshift tournament, and you manage to deal with the kinfolk, the ones who have not awakened any sort of gifts or have not gone through the first change, something you were not too long ago. And you managed to beat them without too much effort. You do get the opportunity to spar with your mother, and you do well, but there is a point in which the difference between human limits and those of a werewolf begin to wear you down a bit, and you find yourself covered in several bruises along both arms and at even the center of your chest. And she kind of stands in front of you. Do you concede?
I can't. I can't. Not if I'm dealing with what we're dealing. I have to handle this.
And how do you think that you will handle your problems like this?
I do not know, Casa. I'm as much as I embrace what we are. I'm not. I'm not a guru. And yet I have to go toe to toe against one or maybe more in this endeavor. And so it is hard. It's hard. I do not know.
You could run away. I would solve your problems, at least in the immediate.
Um, mm, I was given a task. Our group was given a task. I can't let them down by departing. I just need to find a way to be able to battle this with my own skill set instead of entirely trying to copy yours. I just don't know how.
That is correct. You are not Guru. You are not one of us, unfortunately. But I don't recall ever telling you that you needed to be. You wish to fight against an opponent that is stronger and faster and more durable than you. Something that is by all rights impossible. Yet you still wish to try.
Do I feel that to run is dishonorable? Dishonorable in this family, or this lineage of what we've done before, and dishonorable for My cabal.
You are in a unique position to speak of honor. You neither have the power to protect it, nor the authority to wield it, yet you want it. It is respectable, but others would call it foolish.
No, it's something that has been on the edge of my mind since we got here and I discovered this. It's an ongoing battle.
If you want to be good to your friends, then you will have to stop being or pretending to be something you aren't. You are not Garu, you are not us. So you should stop fighting like us.
I will try.
There is no trying, there is only doing or failing.
Very well. And is that they're going to try to get back into the stance and continue with combat.
As you begin to ready yourself, you see your mother kind of flex the muscles in her hands, and then her form begins to change, begins to kind of grow thicker and wider. And you see her reach about 7 feet tall, and her voice deepens a bit, and she looks at you. This is no longer going to be a sparring match. Show me what you can do. And I need you to roll dexterity and martial arts.
Oh, okay. What's the difficulty of this one?
8.
8. Ooh, okay. So that knocks it down to 7. Is this an attack that she's performing?
It's
All right. So I have a couple of moves, fortunately, for dealing with blows. It's called, yes, sidestep. So I could be able to shift away from the blow. I naturally must be able to see it coming first. The maneuver acts as a dodge, but I get a 3 dice bonus added to it to shift this away.
all
Yeah,
right.
how to do that.
All right, roll it for me. And let's see how you do.
Difficulty is 6. Things are looking great though. Fantastic. Wow. Okay.
But is it
4,
fantastic?
5, 6, 7, 8, 10 successes with the crit.
What?
You.
How is that even possible?
That's a lot of success. That's so many successes. A moment later, you see her move, except for her speed is almost like a blur to your eyes. And before you have the proper time to register what's happening, she's above you and is aiming an axe kick down. And it's not so much as you react to what she's doing as your body almost taps into something beyond yourself for just a moment. And you spin to the side as her leg slams into the ground, and you watch as the dirt beneath her foot crashes into the ground, leaving a crater about 6 inches deep. Then she turns at you and she goes, "Good. More." And she comes at you again. Make me one more roll to see how well this exchange is going to go for Chiharu.
Okay.
As you are attempting to meld your experiences and trainings together.
You know what? I'm gonna This is the last one. I'm gonna go ahead and use the willpower just to give me a guaranteed success, but it's fortunately still the same dice pool. Oh, I'm taking a picture of this because I've rarely seen so many zeros. Okay, so all right, so it's 2, 4, 6, 9, 10, 11 successes.
Like if I get 2 successes at this level, it's a good day. Or are you getting like, oh shit!
As I've said
Don't
before,
kill them. Jeez, you're just training.
Kira is
Oh,
the main character in the story, and everyone else are just side characters.
No,
So
sometimes the dice just works really well in my favor. I'll post it in Discord, but it is a thing of beauty.
So you and your mother engage in a sparring match. The premise of the workout tournament has long since been discarded, and you all exchange pointers for about 2 more hours, during which you notice your movements become a bit more fluid, and you still struggle with applying enough force to hurt without overcommitting to your attacks. However, you manage to avoid suffering any sort of injury during the exchange. You're able to avoid your mother's attacks without too much effort for you. You begin to kind of sink into moving without relying on thought. And at the end of this exchange, the makeshift arena that you all have been using has been mostly destroyed, but you do find that you are covered in sweat. Several of your bones are either bruised or maybe fractured in some places. But your mother is spotting several injuries herself. You aren't quite sure how bad they were, since she is naturally able to heal them at a rate far faster than you are. But you feel you've given about as good as you've gotten. And at the end of that, all of you, your family, have been brought together to enjoy a bit of a lunch seems to be a mixture of various meats, from hamburger to what looks to be like a meatloaf. And then you see Bonnie's mothers have prepared a food you aren't sure what it is. It seems to be on fire, however, but it almost looks like the flames are a part of it. It's very, looking at it, it makes you think of fondue, but not. It's very odd, and you can see most of your family is pointedly staying as far away from it as possible.
Is there a unique tarantula smell coming from this?
No, there are no arachnids for dinner.
All right. Just to clarify, the rest of the group is this side as well.
If all of you would be there, unless you would have chosen not to be, so it is going to be up to Bonnie, Eric, and Oliver.
Yeah, so Chiharu would kind of like rub some sweat and probably blood from their nose off their face as they approach and says, "How is everyone?"
Good.
Are we?
Yourself?
We'll be better after a nice dunk in the onsen.
Can get you a Band-Aid?
I'll be fine. Thank you, though, for the concern.
Of course. I mean, you sound all right. You just, look a little worse for wear.
Oh, yes. It was by far the most difficult spar I have had in my life.
I learned my lesson. I look nervously around, waiting for Bonnie's moms to show up.
You do see they are there, kind of. They seem to be cutting into this thing. It almost looks like a meatloaf that is burning. And they seem to be cutting into it, and every once in a while, Meridia will kind of look over at you, nod her head, and come back to what she's doing. Bonnie,
Where's
are
Bonnie
you-
in all of this? Because I would like to be specifically 10 feet away from her.
Exactly 10 feet.
Exactly.
I'll leave that up to Bonnie.
He's gonna carry around a big ruler. It's a yardstick.
Oh, Bonnie doesn't do parties, and it's her favorite season. It's spooky season. So it's close to Halloween. So where else would she be than a cemetery?
Okay.
Good job staying 10 feet away.
Oh
You
well,
wanna-
she invited Eric, but I'm assuming Eric is not coming.
I mean, they said free meat, and that's all I needed.
Before she left, she smiled and she says, "I hope you enjoy the taste of tarantula. I worked very hard on that dish." And then she left.
Yeah, now Eric would be looking at every dish twice. Like, is this the tarantula dish? Is this the one with the legs in it?
Crap, crap, crap.
It could be
Just
any-
ruined the whole meal. Good job.
it
God
could
damn it,
be
Bonnie.
it could be any one of them. I mean,
Who let her in the kitchen?
tarantulas can be ground up really finely.
All right.
Well, I mean, ignorance is
the-
bliss. As long as I don't know it's there, it's fine.
There's a lot of meatloaf type items. You can hide a lot in meatloaf.
Who let the spiders out? Who?
Who? If it's been a couple of days and I've been actively avoiding Bonnie's parents, as long as they don't look mad anymore, you know, it's when you're the boyfriend and you fucked up, or in this case, the fake husband, you know, you're a little weary, but hopefully they get over it. You know, she made me do it, kind of. But if I feel like they're over it, I'd like to go ask Sarah and what's your mom's name, Meridia, if they've been able to reach out to the mages back home.
Meridia is waiting, and she does she folds her arms as you approach. Well,
Hey, mom. Too soon? Too soon. It's too soon. All right.
They'll be able to joke about this one day.
I have been able to get in contact with your chantry, and they did send word about your request.
Oh, perfect. And what's the good word?
They have sent a method of payment for you all to use that I was going to give you, but now I'm starting to reconsider that decision.
Why would you be reconsidering that decision?
Because you called me mom, mostly.
I greatly apologize if I offended you.
You did not ask me for permission, nor did you ask for permission to be wed. And you know, you're really just starting to add negative points.
Wait. Oh, see. Does she actually think we're married? I totally thought she was onto us.
No, you get the feeling she is messing with you, but you're still
Okay, good.
in the negative.
Okay. And who am I speaking with specifically? Is this Meridian or Meridia?
Meridia.
Right. Just so we're clear, Meridia, this was completely your daughter's idea. Okay. I had nothing to do with this. Okay. I was just following along. She said you guys would think it was funny. I apologize. I sincerely apologize if this hurts you in any way.
She never said they think it was funny.
Blaming my
That's how I
daughter for
remember it.
your mistake doesn't really do you any favors.
I'm sorry. Apologizing for my mistake doesn't.
Blaming my daughter for your mistake does not do you any favors.
There's just no winning here, is it?
Probably not. But I
Okay.
have been impressed before.
What do I have to do?
Well,
It's a long
you're
question.
gonna probably be in the doghouse for quite a bit. However, your chantry did request that I take care of this for you all quickly. And she does reach into her apron and she does pull out a very nice looking black card. It looks like a credit card, but you don't see any business symbols on it. It doesn't have any, it doesn't have any.
Like literally just black.
Yes. Here.
And I take the card and examine it closely.
Looking at it, it looks like a credit card. You can definitely tell that's what it's supposed to be. Just doesn't seem to have any other markings on it. It's very like it has the little scan bar you would use, but there's nothing on it that says who gave it to you or what bank it would be used from or what big company or anything like that.
So other than the magnetic strip, it looks like someone just like black spray paint over this card, like it's just black.
Yep.
Is this like American Express black, but for like the rich and famous? Like,
no. Well, you all
does it have a limit?
No, technically, it does not.
Oh, because I'm just asking for a friend, not that I would, do any of that.
You will find once you've been around for a bit that you stop using mortal institutions. They are so very flimsy. But I would strongly recommend not misusing the card. Accruing debt from us and our kind is usually much more difficult to pay off.
Outside of what is being used to purchase the property.
Yes.
But like on the way back, if I picked up a soda, like that's fine, right? Like
Probably the Order of Hermes can be very peculiar with things. And this is coming from one of their mages. I don't think they'd hurt you for buying pop, but they might. I don't know.
Just
It's not really my choice.
It's kind of like, you buy, I drive kind of thing. Like I'll go buy the house, but it's I got to fill up the tank, right? It's gas money. I got recoup.
I would
expenses.
recommend if you're really, really desiring a pop to make it worth it. If you're going to spend extra things, it should definitely be worth whatever comes next.
I understand. If I die, I should go out with a bang. Thanks, Birdie. I appreciate it. And again, I'm really sorry about the whole daughter marriage thing. Unless you'd be into that.
Sure, it's fine.
I'm just saying.
I have no say over who my daughter decides to be with. I am just going to make sure that whatever ceremony it is 10 times as big as it would have been before. So it'll balance itself out.
I haven't met you guys it's been great kind of hanging out in passing the last couple of days. Well, except for, that thing. But something I always wanted to ask you, why does Bonnie hang out in graveyards so often? Like, you guys seem great, but not really the grave type goer crowd, if that makes sense.
We thought she'd grow out of it by now, honestly. She seemed to have gotten really into a particular TV show when she was younger and never really grew out of it.
I see. I just have more questions, but I'm going to let you, I'm going to go and take care of business. Thank you so much again. Enjoy your meal.
Well, good luck to you all. I imagine things are going to be rather difficult for you.
I mean, it's just buying a house. It shouldn't be that unless you know something I don't.
I know many things. I imagine quite a few of those you don't know.
Quite a lot, I'm sure.
But for now, take care of yourselves.
Will do. And I say this as a compliment. You absolutely terrify me. Okay. And I'll leave.
Right. Bonnie, now that you've arrived in this cemetery, and there's a smallish cemetery that is connected to this compound, what are you doing? You are wearing a very long wedding dress that looks to be definitely Victorian in inspiration, and it almost looks ethereal in the setting that you're in. It's almost two things that are so opposite that they seem to come together in a very not quite hypnotic way, but something that draws the eyes.
Um, well, she has a bouquet of dead flowers, of course, given that this is a cemetery. And she, in the spirit of the holiday season that is Halloween, she is going to walk through the cemetery and offer dead flowers to the grave and try to convene with the spirits that dwell here.
Okay, if you have a spirit too, that would allow you to signify that you are open to speak with whatever entities may be in the area. So make me an arte roll. If you are in a cemetery near Halloween in a wedding dress, so I'm gonna say that's gonna pull on the mystic threads a little bit. So that's gonna reduce your difficulty by 1. So your difficulty is 4.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow. I'm speechless.
No one seems to heed your call.
Well, now I've got to do it the old fashioned way. I'm going to light some candles and whooping out a Ouija board.
All right.
And then haul my cookies all the way to the cemetery to not speak to some spirits.
All right, same scenario. So make me a roll, difficulty 4.
Oh, 2
2
successes.
successes. So as you begin to play your game, at first nothing happens, and you begin to feel frustration building. But then, just for a split second, the candles flicker, and you begin to feel the piece that you're holding on to move. Not in any particular direction or over any particular letters, but you do feel that something has responded to you.
In what way?
It seemed to be doing anything specifically, but it has connected with you. So is there anything you would like to ask the spirit?
She clasps her hands in front of her and she says, "It is nice to speak to you. Who, may I ask, am I speaking to?"
It takes a moment, but the hands begin to move, and it begins to spell out the name Brenda.
Brenda. And What wisdom can you provide me, Brenda?
Roll me either charisma and expression or manipulation and expression. And the difficulty will be 5.
2 successes.
A moment later, it begins to move around the board and it spells out, "You're in danger."
I thought so.
Seems legit.
Yeah.
Welcome to Mage.
Tell me something I don't know, Brenda.
Fucking Brenda.
Dang it, Brenda.
Is that Bonnie's response?
No. Well, she mulls over the words, "You're in danger." Flips it over, sees if it's a pentagram. Tries to find it, tries to jumble it around to see if there's another meeting. And finally, she just squints up at the air and she says, "Is that it?"
The piece begins to move rapidly this time, and it spells out a sentence. "What will you pay?"
She thinks about what she has. Depends on whom I'm paying.
Her response is quick. "Does it matter?"
I think it matters a lot.
"Is there someone you wouldn't pay?"
A few people.
There isn't a response for a short time. "What do you want to know?"
Who would I be paying?
"Me."
What payment do you require?
"What do you have to offer?"
I can provide you with an item, a little bit of which can I bet I can provide you with an item that within which holds a little piece of magic. I'm not sure how useful that would be to you.
And a quick response. "What is the item?"
She's going to take out a apologies. The police are after me.
"Necromancer police have arrived. It's too late for you. You have been
She's
arrested."
back, boys. Go get her.
Wee-oo.
Oh, never mind. That was a false alarm. She takes out a straw doll.
A moment later, the response comes. This time, the string is a bit longer than the before. That and a favor. A friend of mine needs help.
Is this friend of the living or of the dead? Or are they in transition?
Have passed already.
What do they require?
I have been captured by someone. I want you to free them.
They've been captured.
Yes.
Although they are currently in the form that should be their freest.
Yes.
Do you know the specifics of this capture?
Yes. I cannot share many details, but it may make things complicated for you.
Why
Would you
can't
help me anyway?
why can't you share many details of this?
There are rules, requirements, debts.
Do you hold a debt? Do you owe a debt that is preventing you from speaking of this?
In a way, yes.
This is all very mysterious.
It is.
Well, Brenda, if I free your friend, what do you have to offer me?
I can tell you about the other dead person. You all met her before. A few days ago, actually. It was so tragic.
What other dead person?
A realtor.
Is she dead?
Yes, and no.
Well, was she dead when we met her?
No.
Hmm. That's odd. I usually can see this coming. Hmm.
It is, in a way, your fault that she is dead.
Oh well.
Probably could have saw that one coming.
You did this.
Oh well. She was already on her way.
Aren't we all?
We are all on our way to death.
Oh, will you help me?
Well, she's already dead.
Yes.
What else? What other information would I need of her?
A lot.
Like what?
Why she's dead. What happens now that she's dead? Who killed her? What will happen to you all?
Hmm. Not to be rude, Brenda, but I can probably guess who killed her and why she's dead.
Perhaps. The living make so many assumptions.
You have to give me a little bit more than that if you want me to help
It
your
is
friend.
It is up to you. Every choice has a consequence.
Well, do you want me to help your friend?
I do.
You
There are
do.
still rules that I have to follow.
Then we can follow those rules, but you can tell me a little bit more. I can't help you if I know nothing.
I'm afraid I've already said quite a bit. I will answer one more question and then I will have to leave.
Hmm. How do we best deal with the enemies that we have before us?
That is a difficult question.
If you cannot answer, then I reserve the right to ask another.
It would be better to ask a different question. The answers I would give you would not be pleasing to you.
Would they be helpful?
Not immediately.
Hmm. What is there to be done of the enemy that I have?
Now that is a very interesting question. That depends on what you're willing to do to deal with them. They
Well,
won't stop coming for you until you are willing to fight them properly.
hmm. Well, I don't entirely know what they want.
It isn't good for you.
Well, yes, I know I will be sacrificed, but I don't know what the end goal is.
That curiosity of yours is going to be lethal for you one day.
Well, you have to understand, Brenda. We are all on the cycle of life and death. The living are always on their way to dying, and the dying are on their way back. They are on the eternal path back to life. It's all a circle.
And there are
And
far worse fates than death.
well, yes, if you do fall off that wheel, then there's not much to be done for you. But I would like to know if I would like to die a death that's worth dying for. And my issue with this enemy that I face is that they want me sacrificed for some sort of eternal great purpose, whatever that may be. And I may or may not be in agreement with them if I know what this eternal great purpose is.
Well, that is very expensive information. What I can and am willing to tell you is that if your goal is to prevent them, then dying a false death would be the most efficient way to do so. If your goal is simply to find out what they are doing, then I would suggest you find them.
Well, I haven't made the decision yet to support their endeavors. I would
It
like to.
sounds like you should go in search of them.
I suppose so. Should I bring my friends along?
Could you?
Yes.
Probably. Would it be a good idea to do so for them? Probably not.
Hmm.
But you would be stronger with them.
I'll ask him and see what answers they come up with. Anyway, thank you, Brenda, for your time.
Will you assist my friend?
Well, as I said to you before, Brenda, I'm just not sure how helpful information on the realtor will be to help us in our goals.
It is up for you to decide.
You seem
Every
very
choice has a consequence.
Yes, but you seem very unconcerned about your friend. So I'm not sure how.
There are very few things that concern the dead.
I suppose that's true. Although I would say there are very few things that are worth concern for the living too.
Once the question is, are you willing to pay the price for not obtaining the information? It can be rather steep.
So you're saying that I should take you're saying that this information is important.
I'm saying that whether you learn it or not, a price will be paid. A price that you will not know today, and maybe not tomorrow. The price will be paid. There will be a consequence to whichever choice you make today. Question is, which one are you willing to pay?
Well, you say a price, but I'm assuming that there are different prices to be paid on different actions.
But I believe our conversation has run its course. Hope not to see you too soon.
I'm ambivalent on that. I'll get back to you on that.
Perhaps. And you feel a release, almost as if there had been a weight on your shoulders that you hadn't noticed and has suddenly been removed. And the lights of the candles seem to become slightly brighter.
Damn, Brenda always sitting on my shoulders.
With that, you find yourself alone.
Well, it is a nice fall afternoon. And no, I think I can take some time to take a nice long walk in the cemetery before heading back.
All right. And Bonnie spends some more time alone amongst the dead.
Yes, and she also tries to scare some cemetery goers who are on their way to visit some loved ones that have long passed.
Or roll manipulation and intimidation.
Aha.
Or performance. Either one. And the difficulty will be 5.
In my Victorian wedding gown and dead flowers.
You have dressed the part.
I have 6 successes.
You are able to terrify several people over the course of about an hour before you find a number of the people, the security of this compound, begin to search for you. Do you stay or do you decide to leave?
Well, I do the thing where like I do a creepy, ghost-like walk of a dead bride, perhaps jilted by her husband to be at the altar, or murdered for murdered for the money that he will use to build a life with his mistress. And as they run away, I'll just, slip behind a tombstone, as if to disappear like a ghost. But once the security guards roam, I will use some entropy to some mage powers, entropy in particular, to make their place of work a little bit scarier for them. Maybe the roots are a little bit overgrown. The landskeeper has not been doing his due diligence, and they're easily trippable, or maybe there's some spider webs hanging on the low branches for the perfect height for you to walk straight into.
Okay. Make me an arte roll. The difficulty will be 5. And you want 3 successes if you wish to get all 3 of the security guards with your effect.
I only have Arte 2.
You have willpower that you can choose to spend.
I will choose to use the willpower because it's Halloween,
Okay.
and what's Halloween without a little bit of fright?
All right. The 3 guards clearly come and begin to search for you, and you begin to subtly manipulate fate to cause more and more events to occur. And you see that it is irritating them that these random events. First, there are several tombstones that seem to just slightly be crumbling in certain areas that result in and 2 of them stepping on a piece of stone that makes them slip. One of them either injures or twists their ankle once. Another one clearly notices a branch and attempts to duck underneath it, but they misjudge the distance and just kind of catch a branch across the face, cutting them kind of above the eye, making it difficult for them to see. And as events like this continue to happen, well, 3 of them make their way out of the cemetery, but it is very clear that they intend to come back with someone to address the spirits.
Oh, well, before they exit, she's gonna do one last little thing. There is a newly dug grave, a newly filled in grave. The soil is loose at this plot. She's going to take out her familiar and bury and with a whisper of encouragement, bury it in the dirt a little bit. And as they walk past, her familiar will pop out a disembodied hand out of the dirt on this newly filled in grave.
All right. If you are more than welcome to do so, there may be consequences for this action. Do you still wish to take it?
Yes.
All right. Roll me 5d10 at difficulty 7.
Uh, 1.
As your hand emerges, you see one of them kind of whip around, and they have what looks to be like a kind of a large combat knife. And as soon as they whip around, you see them not really look at what's happening, but just throw the knife at your familiar. And you, for a moment, sense fear, and you aren't sure if it's your fear or the fear of your familiar. And you hear the blade impact into the ground. And for just a moment now, it's almost as if the world around you stops before your familiar scatters back into the dirt, narrowly avoiding being hit by a knife.
I will wait for the guards to leave before retrieving my familiar and returning it back to back into its back to safety in its box, and heading back to the compound.
Okay. All right. And while Bonnie is having her fun, what are the three of you doing? At this point, the lunch, the late afternoon lunch, is beginning to wrap up. There's still food, but people have left to take care of their business, leaving the three of you, for the most part, alone.
Did you get any of the spider, Eric?
I might have, but I wouldn't know if I did.
You can ask Bonnie. I'm sure she'll tell you later.
I don't want to know. It's okay. It was good. It was a good meal. If I ate some spider and I enjoyed it, hey, I'm expanding my horizon. You know, it's good for you. It's healthy.
Just needs a little salt, right?
No, it was mostly all the dishes were pretty salty. Like not a cured meats, not because they were prepared salty, because I kept thinking I was eating tarantula. So I just had to mask the. Anyways, we got paid. I don't know how you buy a house with a credit card, but we'll figure it out.
Probably the same way we buy anything else, right?
You'd think that, but no, it's actually not how it works.
So,
Go ahead.
so what you're telling me is that tarantula is like tofu? It just picks up the flavor of those around it?
It's possible that it was ground up very finely and masked by the deliciousness of your family's well-cooked meats. That's what I'm going with anyways. So I'm going to keep telling myself that.
Nicely done. Well, it seems like the next task is going to be a breeze.
I mean,
Well,
yeah, as far as I know, we could just take care of this all via online and paperwork and go to a notary and bing, bang, boom. Typically, this is like a week and a half process, but I feel like we can speed it up since I have this card, and I'll show the black card. I don't know what this is, but it's a black card, which I hear is good. We'll find out.
is it that what celebrities and other higher profile individuals in society uses?
Yes, but I don't think it's quite this black, if that makes sense.
And I have both Chiharu and Oliver make me an intelligence in either occult, academics, or lore traditions roll.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or a lore order of Hermes, I guess, if you have that for some reason.
Sorry, repeat the knowledge options again. You said occult,
academics, or lore traditions, or a lore
Okay.
order of Hermes.
What's the difficulty?
Six for all of them, except for six for all of them except for you, Oliver. You get to roll with a 5.
Okay.
Because you are of the order of Hermes, and this is something that they did.
3 successes.
All right, 2 successes. Chiharu, you've seen something like this before, and you've heard of it from your time with the Akashic Brotherhood, that you don't fully know how it works. You know that it is a payment method that some of the richer people in the Order of Hermes use, but you know that they don't normally look like credit cards. The ones you've heard of looked like kind of pouches of gold, like really old time things, like maybe ancient Roman style. Oliver, you have heard of these from your lessons with the order proper, and you know that the technique used to create them doesn't make them look like credit cards specifically. They make them appear as a method of payment that is simply common for the era of time that they were created in. But you know that they can typically be used to pay for anything in any way, as long as it's the intent to pay for it that makes it work. It doesn't really require it to be anything in particular. You know, they are typically not taught to young mages like yourselves, since you tend to use them poorly. It is usually something that is taught once you are approaching mastery.
I see. Well, now that we have this prepared, I think the other task, which we haven't really considered as of yet, is how shall we restore the original essence of the node so that the chantry is aware that we have reclaimed this particular location as requested. Right now, that location is corrupted and balefire. So we would have to discover a way to remove that taint and restore it back to its original form so they will know that the deed is done.
So I don't know how we'll accomplish that, but I think our first task should be regaining the land that we need to work on. As long as there's a ever-present danger, I don't think curing the land is going to be possible. Or cleansing the soil, I should say, cleansing the node.
When you say ever-present danger, are you suggesting that we eliminate the Black Spiral dancers that wish to take it for their own, or just the legality of owning the location?
I'm getting a crushing realization that actually owning the property, which in the long term is the play, won't actually stop this enemy if they wanted to take it.
Indeed.
What are we going to do once we're law-abiding legal homeowners? Call the cops?
I figured we put up
do?
a security sign, something.
Get off my lawn? Yeah, I'm sure they'll.
No trespassers.
Well, problem solved. Pish posh.
As you all are talking, two people arrive from opposite doorways. The first one is Bonnie. The second is Tatsumi, a person who was there with you all when you took your trip to the realtor's office. And he's kind of wearing what looks to be combat clothing with kind of a darker green, forest green shirt. And he kind of looks at you all and he goes, you all didn't know anyone at that realtor place personally, right?
I mean, other than the people we entered with.
What happened?
You guys haven't been watching the news today, I take it?
Been a little hungry, we've been busy eating.
I never watch the news. It's always bad.
Bonnie's gonna walk up to them and she's going to say, we may have a bit of a problem with buying the house. Our realtor's dead.
I don't see why that'd be an issue buying the house.
I assume that she's
unfortunate.
I assume that she's not pursuing real estate in the afterlife.
Well, I mean, documents already signed. I wouldn't really need her to finish this deal. She works for realtor office. Anyone who works
Well,
I've never bought a house before.
So the realtor's office was set on fire, apparently. And according to the police, there is an investigation into their records. They believe that they were smuggling drugs or something. So I don't think they are going to be able to finish any sales for the immediate time.
And see, this is why I don't watch the news. It's always bad. It's always bad news.
Well, I mean, technically, I guess that's true. But
Okay.
I would be careful.
That other thing would definitely hinder us from purchasing this property.
I'd be careful. If we assume that this wasn't done by our enemies, the police will probably be asking questions. And do you all have a tendency of being weird?
Say, good sir. Weird.
So,
You walked in wearing a gothic wedding dress talking about dead people.
well, not of my own choice.
I look over at Bonnie and I say, no, you're right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we are.
I don't think you can use magical curses as an excuse with law enforcement.
Well, it's not illegal to be walking around in a wedding dress talking about death.
But it's a little bit suspicious. I mean, people just burned down, maybe drug smuggling, and then there is a group of people who were just there yesterday, 2 days ago, and one of them is talking about dead people all the time. It's going to be a little suspicious.
Well, this order of events is not beneficial for us. We were about to buy a house from them, and now we apparently cannot. So by that logic, we would probably be the least suspicious because our business was directly hindered.
There is no motive. I don't think they can. I'm not concerned about the police looking or asking us questions.
Just if they do, don't talk about death the entire time. That's all I'm asking.
Maybe steer away from that topic.
And you have to hold my hand the entire time, Bonnie.
Why?
So you don't have a white Victorian dress on.
I don't have to hold your hand. I just have to be within a couple of feet of you.
Storyteller, read that curse back. I thought there was something about it.
You do have to be within a certain distance, and holding hands makes it better, but you don't have to be holding hands.
Got it.
But what do you mean by holding hands makes it better?
Holding hands.
If you're holding hands, it is
everything
very
better.
unlikely that you will find yourselves in a situation where you're separated by accident.
Do I want to be holding? Do I want to hold Eric's hand with 100% certainty that I will not be wearing this dress?
Well, that is going to be a decision that you all will have to really consider. Because we are going to be taking our break for the evening. So come back in about 15 minutes to see where this story is going to take our cabal and just how they managed to avoid getting themselves in trouble. Alright, hello and welcome back to our Mage the Ascension campaign. We are going to dive right back into where we left off, as where our cabal has discovered that some interesting events have just happened. But without further ado, I leave things to y'all.
Right. So, where do we leave off? Fuck.
They're all dead,
fuck.
Jim.
Fuck, they're all dead. Yeah, I don't think that would stop us from purchasing the property, but it's definitely going to delay things. And is it just me, or is it pretty clear that the BSD, we'll call them, they obviously did this, right? Like it's retribution, retaliation, I should say.
Of course.
Yeah.
And more so with this taking place, even when a new office attempts to pursue further our legal paperwork, they most likely will be most likely will get caught in the crosshairs of the BSD.
Well, forget the office. They're going to be coming for us.
Well, here, I'm not as concerned.
We can't
So-
stay here forever, though.
Exactly. The idea we have to take into account is that we will not be able to own the house legally until a realtor office continues with the paperwork. So we can't enter that location legally without the paperwork going through. So their only technically. So their only option, if they wish to pursue us, until the paperwork was completed, was to try and enter this location.
Well, as long as they stop the paperwork, they stop the process, and we're all kind of dead in the water.
Well, yes. They would not have legal grounds to do anything, so that will not stop them. And we have no legal grounds to purify the location. If we are caught trying to remove the taint that is there, they could
Caught by
easily
who? Them?
Yes, they could easily call the cops on us.
No, they can't.
Or not.
Well, they're not supposed to be there either. So only people who would have legal grounds for whether or not to kick us off the premises would be the current homeowners, which is owned by, I would assume, a bank.
I see. So they cannot call the cops on possible trespassing if they do not own the location?
Sure, but anyone could do that. Say,
Yeah.
hey, I think someone's breaking into a house. So yeah, they could do that. But legally, if the cops show up and we say, hey, we're purchasing this property and we have legal paperwork signed to back that up, I don't think that'd be an issue. Since there is no actual current tenant at the home or the location of the property. If someone lived there, that'd be very different.
So how much ground do we have to be able to enter the location and perhaps start this ritual of sorts?
Okay, so we're talking about legalities and technicalities. Technically, we shouldn't really have an issue as long as we can back up that we are serious buyers and we're currently in escrow to purchase this property from some corporation, some bank, what have you. That said, if we are found with balefire in the basement of a secret dungeon with, okay, that one would be hard to explain. I don't have a legal way out of that one.
So that, and sadly, that leads to one of my points. Do we wait until the process is completed somehow? But
I think they've forced our hand and we do not have the luxury of waiting. We need the node active. We were tasked to do that. We can't wait forever. We're talking about legalities and technicalities. They can go ahead and string us on for months, if not a year, 2 years. And in the meantime, they, as well as us, have full access to that property. Legalities aside, who's going to stop them?
I think I may have a way for us to find a solution to this problem.
I'm all ears.
Well, first, I hold Eric's hand, so I'm no longer, to make sure that I'm no longer wearing the dress. I had a very nice walk and conversation earlier. And I met a spirit who, in exchange for me doing a favor for her, will give me a little bit of information on the circumstances that have arisen. Perhaps if we save her friend, we may be given some information that would be useful in acquiring this house.
Wait, who did you meet in a graveyard?
Her name is Brenda.
Fucking Brenda. Well, I don't know that Brenda, but just in general, Brenda's, you know. Ugh. Sheesh.
So you're saying a friend is in danger?
Well, Brenda's friend is in danger, and she would like us to do her the favor of saving them.
Who is this friend?
Oh, well, he's dead as well. But
How are we to save him?
well, he's been captured. We need to free him.
These are dead people you've met.
Yes.
And Brenda wants you to save her friend at what cost?
At the cost of, well, she'll pay us back by giving us information on the situation.
On this specific, sorry, I find it sus that you be walking through a graveyard and suddenly the one ghost that you happen to meet happens to have information specifically on the topic that we're discussing right now.
Well, Eric, where else would you find useful ghosts?
Literally everywhere. Literally any and everywhere.
It's the nice ones that get buried so that you would find them in the cemetery.
Oh, it's the unburdened ghosts that don't have, you know, things left over they need to complete before they can pass on. The good happy ghosts are in the graveyard.
Oh, no, none of them are happy. That's why they're still here. But, well, I suppose it is a class thing. The ghosts who can afford after death to pay for a graveyard plot. So I suppose that she would be at least somewhat knowledgeable on real estate. So it does make sense that she would follow real estate affairs.
I mean, it sounds less dangerous than just breaking into the house and trying to take care of the Bellfire and renewing the note ourselves. So I'm okay taking a less drastic action as a first step.
As you all are talking, you begin to hear alarm bells going off.
Oh, that's good.
Never mind. I spoke too soon.
Chiharu immediately stands up and looks for his mother.
All right, we make your way out, and you find everyone is gathering sort of in this kind of main meeting area just outside of the main house. And as you kind of push your way further in towards the front of this crowd, you find that your mother is standing there, and she seems to be having a conversation with nothing. You look and you can see her, but she seems to be looking into the air, but you can't see whatever it is that she's speaking with.
Chiharu would try to narrow their eyes and use their spirit spear to see if they can see a spirit located there.
Sure. All right. How do you use this sight?
I think Chiharu kind of takes a deep breath, calms themselves, and centers themselves. And as they close their eyes, they just try to imagine the key around the universe, around them, essentially giving them sight beyond sight. And as they open their eyes, that's when they will try to sphere to the spirit realm.
Make me an RNT roll, difficulty 4.
Right. Okay, 2 successes.
2 successes. It takes a moment as you are sending the energy of the world into your eyes. But a moment later, you see the hazy at first, an outline of what looks to be like a large eagle. Its wings seem to be almost 10 feet long all the way across. And you can see it's there, but your sight isn't quite perfect. So it's kind of almost phasing in and out, almost becoming translucent for you. And you can see that they are talking, and you're able to pick up bits and pieces. And the spirit seems to be communicating that there is a storm coming. A large amount of dark spirits are arriving.
That's
right.
not good.
Chiharu continues to listen to the conversation to get the full spiel because they have no idea what's going on at the moment. But yeah, they will essentially look towards Bonnie first because they know Bonnie has a well-connected line to spirits. Kind of do a gentle nod towards that direction to where their mom is talking to. And then we'll speak if Eric and Oliver are also outside and say, danger approaches.
I'm assuming that's what the alarms meant, but I meant to ask you about those. Those aren't happy sounds, right?
No, I was trying to gather specifics as of this moment. The only thing I know is that a large amount of evil spirits is making their way here. Am I aware of what that eagle represents?
Just looking at it, no. But you know
Okay.
that it's definitely a nature spirit of some sort, but you don't know exact details on what it is.
Okay. All right. So I can explain that to the group then. Never mind. So yeah, they would just say there is, I believe, a spirit in the form of an eagle giving us information.
And how would one deal with an eagle spirit?
Oh no, they are a friend to us. It seems as they are currently talking to my mother.
Okay, I might have misheard you the first time then. So alarms go off. There's a bunch of eagle spirits coming,
No,
but
evil.
these are
Evil.
evil spirits. Thank
Yes.
you. There's a bunch of eagle spirits. I'm like, okay, well, that's a weird. Got it. Evil spirits. That makes a lot more
Yes.
sense. Yes, very much warranted the alarms that are going off right now. Got it.
You have I will listen, but I believe you two should prepare on how one can fight against a spirit of sorts. If you have any skills or tools at your disposal that allows you to reach across, and perhaps they are different if they are here in the mortal plane, I am not certain, but I have to listen for more information.
Not really my thing, unfortunately.
So, and I will listen for more information. And if you all cannot assist in fighting, perhaps you can assist my family in their needs when this fight takes place.
Yeah, we're here because I'm hoping your family's doing the fighting.
Yes.
Which is why it's safe. Just checking.
Yes.
Yes. So play a supportive role. Yes, absolutely. I can do that if it saves my life.
Chiharu just gently smiles.
A short while later, you all see Chiharu's mother finish their conversation, and you all could see she was speaking to something. And she turns and looks at all of you. It appears that there are a number of beings on their way. I have managed to enlist the aid of a number of spirits in our defense. and have determined that it will be best for us to take the battle to the Umbra. All of those who are able to step into the Umbra will be joining me. The rest of you, I will task with defending this place. This is clearly not a coincidence. I do not like being forced to dance to another person's tune, but for the moment, that is all that we can do. Please be careful. Take
Is it
care
who
of
we?
yourselves.
Is it the Black Spiral dancers approaching?
I do not know for sure, but it would be very odd for this and the issue that drew Meridia and Sarah away to be happening as a coincidence.
Yes. Where are my parents?
They were forced to go in search of a spirit that had been behaving oddly in the Umbra. It was I forget the word they used, but it was some sort of being that had been manipulating people to fall in love or something like that. It was very odd. But they went after it and have not come back. Well, it has only been a few hours. At first I thought it was nothing, but I found it hard to believe that all of this would be random chance.
Could this be a distraction technique? A way to split our forces for whatever they're searching for?
It
It
does.
is possible.
It does seem suspicious. I mean, I would assume that they'd be immune to this as they are already in love.
Yes, your mothers seem to be aware of the being itself, but not affected by it. They are attempting to parlay, I believe was the word Sarah used. I believe your mother mentioned sealing it in some sort of Cupid doll as a possible outcome, which is an option.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I cannot communicate with them now.
Yes. My mother does like her dolls.
I do not believe any of you are capable of crossing over. Is that correct?
No, we chose poorly during character creation. five episodes in. Does anyone have this? Oh no.
It's okay. It's okay. Give me about 3 more episodes.
I believe we can take care of this problem. However, we won't be able to offer you all much support in the meantime. Be careful. Do not make enemies that you cannot deal with.
Will there be those left behind, or will it just be the 4 of us?
There will be other people left, but they will be tasked with defending this place primarily. We cannot afford to lose control of our cairn.
Of course, that was my goal as well. I was not prepared to do anything else but make sure that our home is safe. Was there a different expectation?
I am concerned that this is meant to make sure that we cannot assist you all with your other enemies, and leaving the black spirals unchecked for a prolonged period of time could have particularly bad consequences.
see. Well, we will do what we must. Be safe, Kasa.
Take care of yourselves. Remember all that you've learned, and do not step lightly. Make sure to think about your decisions. And you see, they all begin to the compound becomes filled with activities. People are running to and fro. You see several people entering the armory, pulling out various weapons. Some of them are modern rifles and guns. Others are very large bladed weapons. You see, at one point, your mother returns with a very long and ornate glaive as they all begin to prepare to cross over. What are the four of you doing?
They prepared to cross over where now?
With John Edwards.
Well, Eric, you wouldn't have no idea what's happening. But Chiharu, I would
in or
say
out of
you would
game,
have
I got no
seen
idea.
it. Chiharu, you have seen this before, and you know that there is a ritual or a thing that they do in order to cross over into the Umbra, and that is partially why they have the very large pond in the middle. It will allow them to enter the Umbra. But you know that you cannot follow because there is currently no one with that capability to bring others with them into the Umbra. So unless you can do it for yourself, you would be unable to join them.
Yeah, so Chiharu will state that to the others and say, otherwise I would follow and head towards our chantry and attempt to find help. Sadly, the way that my family and my kin enter the Umbra is a bit different from how we transverse. So we're left to our own devices.
So are these spirits coming towards us via the Umbra?
Well, yes, but with them taking the battle to the Umbra, we will not fight them. My family will fight them there. As stated, this appears to be a distraction technique to remove what they believe is the greatest threat, my family, from the board in order for us to be left behind and do battle with us. They know we are just mages, not guru.
I think you're stating the obvious. This is a tactic in which they're distracted to pull away our defenses so we can die, or they can attack us and try to kill us.
Yes.
And so far, you've just said facts. So we're defenseless now, and great. Thank you for pointing that out.
We are.
So they were successful in doing distracting.
We are not defenseless. For one, there are still some who are left behind who will help guard this location as well and help us in our endeavors. Two, I've learned in my recent sparring that just because we are not Guru does not mean we cannot take it to the Guru in our own right. We just have to find our own way of doing so. But it can be done.
So that armory, is it just for anyone who's trying to help?
I will ask, of course, to achieve weaponry from the location. There's my family, I'm presuming, will have little mind of you arming yourself in a united foe. More so, sadly, my family has no choice in this endeavor as they have to deal with a league of dark spirits heading toward this direction from the Umbra. So as much as I hate that this technique is in place, There's sadly no other option but what is before us.
Yes, arming myself sounds like a smart thing to do.
So, question then, I'm guessing are probably any weapons and stuff that we're getting from their armory are probably going to be mundane, because I'm assuming they probably took whatever special toys they may have had with them into the Umbra. Not just going to let random mages grab theirs. Not that we could necessarily even utilize it.
Definitely. I'm like, they're pretty sure they're still special. The fact that if you all can use it, that's the question part.
Could I try and add some temporary enchantments to whatever weapon Quinn decides to pick up, or anybody else with?
You are welcome to do whatever you like for the most part.
I'm just not sure what kind of what the maximum capacity is for even like attempting to do that with Prime 3.
So there are weaponry that is still left behind. There are some bladed weapons as well as some rifles and handguns, things like that. The majority, they do seem to be mundane in origin, but there are still a small amount of silvered objects as well that may be of use. If you wish to create temporary enhancements to them, you can do that with Prime 2, though the amount of changes you can make to it will be relatively small based on, time you think you have, and limited on the actual magic you can put into them. So you would tell me what you'd like to do. I'll tell you if you're able to do it.
I have a different method of choosing a weapon. So before you decide to
sure. No, I mean,
enhance a weapon that I'm gonna grab. Yeah.
I was gonna wait to find out what you wanted.
I'm the type of mage I am. I would leave it to fate. I would like to use a combination of time and entropy to basically feel, and this is something that I hope Ree does something cool with. The weapon that is going to be most useful for me at some point in the future, serendipitously. So we use kind of like prophecy and fortune, where I'm just kind of like feeling it may not look like it's the thing that I want right now, but it's something that I'm going to need. You know what I mean?
Sure. All right. So
I think
first,
I pick up what you're putting down.
What does this look like? How does Eric attempt to allow fate to make a decision for them?
So I'm using a combination of different spheres that I have. I kind of want to just walk into the armory and stand in the middle of the room. And on one palm, I'm going to pull that pen out of my pocket, and I'm going to draw almost like a pentagram with some runes circling it. In the other hand, I'm going to use my watch that I use for my time magic, and I'm kind of just hold them both, kind of give myself a little chant here. And keeping my eyes closed, I'm going to just let fate pull me in the direction that I'm supposed to go.
Am I still holding your hand?
Yes, I guess you are. You could have let go, obviously. You don't have to hold my hand.
You both look very unique standing there together under these circumstances.
In sickness and in health. In fake sickness and fake health.
I am following. I'm following you through your process.
Until we fake depart.
Until we fake.
Roll your Arte. I'm going to say this is going to be coincidental magic. It's not overtly magical, so difficulty will be 5 in total.
Okay. It's been 2 days. Do I get willpower back?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to spend I want this to go well for me, so I'm going to spend a willpower. So that will be 3 successes. No, wait, 1 success. I rolled 3 dice. I should have only rolled 2 dice. My bad. So 1 success plus my willpower is 2 successes.
Okay. The two of you walk hand in hand through what's left of the armory. And towards the back, you find this kind of larger. It looks like it's supposed to be a rifle, though it is clearly too large for a single person to use. And as you're both kind of looking at it, you realize you both together could probably use it effectively.
I mean, so what is this? Like a huge rifle?
Yes, if you, I forget what they're called in like the military, or whatever, but it's that really big one that like when it fires, it almost sounds like a cannon is being shot. It's
It's a
like
50
if you
cal.
don't,
Oh, 50K. Oh,
yeah,
You don't need
yeah,
two people.
yeah, I
Are you
think
talking
so.
about a squad automatic weapon? Even that's just one person.
No. It looks like the weapon to your eyes looks like it's
Is it
meant for a
mobile
Garu.
artillery?
It looks like it would be designed for a Garu in full transformation to use. Which you think if you attempted to use it alone, you would probably break several bones. But if you work together, you may be able to use it.
So it's like
A
so it's like a
Beretta
vehicle
M82.
mounted 50 cal machine gun.
It's like a 7-foot tall rifle. It is a massive rifle, and it is absolutely can be used by one person, but you have to be like
A big person.
in the full prone position, set up. Like if you try to fire this thing standing up, you'd blow yourself right on your ass.
Mhm.
And we'll
Yeah, you
just
have
say
to
it's
lay
modded
down.
for extra power for the Garu. Cool. I look at it like it's unpractical, but then I look at Bonnie and I say, I think I want this one.
I look back. I look at the weapon. I look back at Eric. Look at the weapon. Back at Eric.
I mean, I'm not a little guy, but I'm not that big either.
Yeah, yeah. You can see that conveyed on Bonnie's face.
I don't know
Oliver
why
looks-
I need this, but I know I'm going to, if that makes sense.
Oliver looks at the rifle and looks up at Eric and looks back at the rifle and looks back at Eric and well then I guess big toys for big boys, huh?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take the rifle off the wall.
All right, you have armed yourself with this rifle. While Eric and Bonnie are considering their course of actions, Chiharu and Oliver, how are you preparing?
Now that Eric has chosen a weapon of war, I think that Oliver would like to attempt to enhance it in some capacity.
All right, what would you like to do to it?
I think I'd like to make it maybe more accurate and or more lethal if that's possible. I don't know like what kind of change could is it like what type of damage does it do already? Would we have any knowledge of that? Like is it doing
I would
lethal
say
damage?
with your spheres, you could enchant it to do aggravated damage, but it will only last until either they run out of quintessence or you run out of quintessence. Whoever is feeding quintessence into it would, once they ran out, it would no longer be able to do aggravated damage.
Okay, that's fair. Now would it be one quintessence per shot?
Yes, each shot,
Okay.
regardless of if you hit or not, each shot will be 1 point.
What about something that would be a little more permanent since I don't know how long we might have to endure this?
With your spheres, I don't believe you could add any permanent things to it.
Not permanent, like semi-permanent. You know, like I'm guessing whatever the fight's going to be, it would be a scene.
Yeah, so you can modify it. I don't think your spheres that you do any of the special stuff to it, but I will double check for you. Who knows? Maybe I am
having trouble
Incorrect.
finding the weapon or the crafting thing in there. It's all a little loosey goosey anyway. So
Let me see, what can you do with entropy? Okay, I will say you have entropy 1, so you could make it more, not more accurate in the sense that you will be able to, or the user will be able to determine the best place to aim for. So mechanically, I'll say they can either use that to make it slightly easier to hit or do slightly more damage. But that would be probably the extent of the modifications you can do with your current
for like
knowledge.
slightly longer duration, not fueled by quintessence.
Yes, if you just want to make it do that, you would not need the quintessence, and it would go based on how many successes you roll. If you wish to do aggravated, it will be based on how many successes you roll or for how long it'll go. But then you can feed into quintessence into it to fire off better shots.
So you could make it do aggravated and then enhance the aggravated damage by feeding quintessence into it. Or you have to feed quintessence.
You'd be adding the quintessence to make it do aggravated damage. And then with entropy, you can make it either easier to hit or make it able to hit more sensitive areas for extra damage. Those would be the 2 changes you can make.
Good.
I might have not heard the first option, but the second option seems useless, because if I hit anything with this, it's no longer there. So there's no hitting a weak point.
Say that, but
you hit him in his chest, he doesn't have a chest anymore.
I mean, you say that, but you're also hitting a werewolf with that. Werewolves have a way of soaking aggravated damage a lot easier than other creatures. I mean, as a mage, I don't know that, but out of character.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
It's up to you all.
Well, I guess I should probably confer with Eric on that. Would you rather have your weapon be more accurate, or would you like it to be more powerful in a limited fashion? You might have to supply some magical energy to fuel the shots.
I'm gonna let fate decide. That's how I roll. The first option.
So accuracy.
I think I would like it to be more accurate. I feel like I would like it to be more accurate. Don't overthink things. Just let it happen. What's meant to be will be.
Just go with the flow.
Just go with the flow.
Okay. All right. So what are we rolling for this then, Ree? You said
all right. So this is going to be a ritual roll for you. So how many dots of stamina do you have?
Stamina. I didn't realize stamina was a ritual related roll. I have 1 dot in stamina.
So you will be able to make 1 roll. Because for rituals, you can make as many rolls as you have in stamina before you have to push yourself. So make me an RT roll. It is vulgar because you are making something magical. So it will be a difficulty 6 total. And I'll say this is vulgar without witnesses because Chiharu's family is supernatural enough.
Yeah, there's a bunch of werewolves around here. Okay, well, I'll spend a willpower because I want to make sure that this is successful. So that's 1 success, and then I guess let's roll them bones.
This is the nicest wedding gift we could ever receive.
Right?
A 50 cal rifle.
Magically enhanced 50 cal rifle that we have to use together.
I got 2 successes with willpower. So
all right, so 3 successes total. So you would need to divide that between duration of the effect and how much you want the effect. So basically how long it'll work, which would be 2 successes for a scene at least, and then how many you want the diff reduction to hit to be. Now you have an option. You can push yourself to get another roll, by making a stamina roll. If you fail this stamina roll, however, the magic you are currently doing will be lost.
Hmm.
And the successes you have will be lost and your ritual will fail. So would you like to keep the 3 successes you have or push forward?
I think Oliver's going to play it safe for now. He may try to enhance himself.
All right. In that case, you have 3 successes to divide between adoration and potency, we'll say.
So then, I mean, we want it to last for the scene, we want it to last for the fight, and then reduce the penalty. So it's one. Your shots are at a -1 penalty. Well, sorry, not -1. So the difficulty is one.
Is reduced by 1. I got you.
All right.
So I'm stepping what you're dropping. Yeah.
That'll take you an hour of hard work, Oliver. While Oliver is doing that, Chiharu, how are you preparing?
So Chiharu is first going to find Hoshi to have Hoshi join them. And they're going to make their way into the Karen, as they know that is where the magical source is at its peak, at its highest in this location. And as they enter the Karen, they're going to just have the key flow around them as they cross their legs on the ground, take a deep breath, start to meditate, and they're going to use their spheres, similar to what Oliver stated, to boost up as many physical and mental attributes as possible using a ritual.
How many dots of stamina do you have?
3.
All right, that means you can work for 3 hours before you begin to feel exhausted. So roll, your arting. If you are trying to boost that, so it's going to be a life 3 effect.
Mm-hmm.
If you're meditating, I'm going to say that's going to be vulgar without witnesses.
Wait, in the Karen though? I thought that makes it coincidental.
A Karen isn't a node. They're the same.
Oh wait, sorry, my headset came off. Sorry, I can't hear you. 1 second. Okay, all right, go ahead. Sorry.
Stargazer Karen is not the same as a mage's node.
Oh, what?
They're
similar.
You know what? This is what I would say. Roll me your willpower, and we will see if you are able to connect with the spirit guardian of this node.
Okay, I can work with that. What's the difficulty?
Say 7.
7. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3 successes.
You'll begin to meditate, and Hoshi is there with you. And for just a moment, you see kind of in the air, floating almost ethereally, it looks to be a creature, a beast. But as soon as your eyes focus on what it looks like, it shifts, almost as if it's going through hundreds or thousands of faces. And it stares at you for a short time, and you can feel this weight begin to push down on you. For a moment, you see just a slight nod from this creature, and it fades away. I will say, with 3 successes, for the rest of this scene, you have the blessings of Chimera. So you are able to operate within the cairn as if it were a node, and I will say your effects on the node will not damage it for this scene. So you're able to rely on it as a source of quintessence should you need it. And you get a +1 to perception, since that's what Chimera gives to werewolves for some reason.
I +1 to perception. Quintessence. So Chiharu will nod gently, just say arigato, and
it'll be coincidental. But if you leave the grounds of this compound, it will become vulgar, and you will start to experience the effects of having If you go above the human maximum, you will begin to experience the effects of being above the human maximum.
Oh yes, that's not their goal. Their goal is to do not go higher than 5. They know the guru probably are a bit higher than that. But all right.
All right.
So the difficulty is what again?
6.
6. Okay. All right, and you said I could use quintessence, right?
You can spend your quintessence freely, like normal, or you can pull quintessence from the cairn itself. So you have both of those potential sources available to you.
How much could I pull from the cairn? How much is available at the cairn? Just so I know.
You can tell, we'll say 5 total, 5 points total.
Okay, so they're just going to use 2 right now to knock it down to 4.
All right.
Perfect. 3 successes.
All right. That's the first hour. Make me a second roll for the second hour. And keep track of the total amount of successes.
Okay. That is 2 more, so that's 5 total.
Okay. 1 more.
And I'll use willpower of this just to be on the safe side. Nice. Another 3 successes. So 8, 9 successes total.
All right. So you are at the limit of what your body can do. Do you wish to push forward and try and get another hour of ritual, or do you wish to be satisfied with what you have?
Do you want to risk it for the biscuit?
I'm normally the safe player, and usually these are monks. They, what's going on and with their friends around. I feel like this is maybe a slight character moment. They're going to risk it. They're going to push.
All right, 3 dice at difficulty 6.
All right. Nice. 2 successes. I wish I had a 4th dot in stamina. I would have had a crit.
All right, you get 1 more roll. Go for it.
Okay.
3 dice.
Okay. What was the difficulty? Is 4. Okay, so 2 more successes. So that'll be 11.
All right. Once again, it's your choice to make. You can push yourself for another hour or be satisfied with what you have.
Yeah, this will probably be enough. 11 successes should hopefully be enough to do.
Right. So presumably you want this to last for an entire scene. So that'll be 2 successes, which means you have 9 that you can divide however you like amongst your attributes.
9 dots. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay.
While Chiharu debates how to do that, Bonnie, are there any other preparations you'd like to make? You're currently helping Eric with the very large gun, but what would you like to do? You're muted.
I want a flamethrower. Sure. There could be a flamethrower. Why not?
Excellent choice.
I'm sure flamethrower in a literal forest will have 0 ramifications. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Can I attach it to the rifle?
Rifle already weighs like 2,000 pounds. You want to attach?
Well, somebody, if it depends, is it one of those old school like World War II era ones, like
it's
Vietnam
like Voltron,
where you're carrying around like a double pack of liquid and like somebody's just gonna walk by and tap that thing and it's gonna explode.
See,
I need to draw
my
this.
Instinct is to say that wouldn't work. Like every part of me feels like it wouldn't work. However, you do have magic.
I mean, you could put the flamethrower and you could attach.
But hear me out. Magic.
The problem you're going to run into is that it's just the distance, right? So it's like it becomes a more close range alternative if things start to like close the gap, I guess, right? Although if it's an actual like flamethrower, that thing can still spit that fire out about like say 15, 20 feet.
That's nothing compared to a 50 cal. 50 cal go what?
Yeah.
Mile? I mean,
it'll reach
more than a mile.
Yeah, more than a mile, right?
but you're not going to need all that here.
Purely
What?
because I want to encourage recklessness. I will say you can attempt this, but you will need to roll to alter probability and time to make it so the weapon does not cause itself to explode in what I feel like are many different ways that this would go poorly for you. But if you wish to take the risk, you are more than welcome to try.
But why would I need to alter time?
You're really just trying into using chance and time together to hold off the bad thing that will happen because you're doing this. Because you don't have enough entropy to make the chance 0. So you're more like you're taking the bad thing and trying to push it as far into the future as possible, basically.
Are we still holding hands?
That's up to you guys.
I'm
Then
not,
yes,
I have
and
not
I
let
help.
go.
Let's do it, babe. We're gonna create this thing together.
Sure.
Our
If
baby's
this
gonna
is-
be a 50 caliber flamethrower,
The
If this
first
is what
thing we
you
ever
have,
create together.
and it's
So-
beautiful. It's gonna be fucking beautiful.
so this is very much going to be vulgar magic. So it's going to be difficulty 6, and you both can roll together. What are your stamina ratings?
2.
2.
2 each. Okay, so you could both make 2 rolls each, and you can add your successes together. Which of you is going to be the lead on this ritual?
Well, this is her thing.
I
I'm here to
guess I
support.
will.
I'm here to support her in her endeavors. That's
All right.
what a good
That's
fake
in
husband
any
does.
good marriage.
Sure. Bonnie, if you botch on this roll, there will be negative consequences. But I
Okay, so I'll
encourage you both to
willpower it.
roll.
Yeah, we can use willpower, right?
You can.
I will willpower it.
All right. Make your first roll.
And I'm rolling as well, right?
I got a 2.
All right, 2 success. Is that with the willpower success?
Yep.
All right, 2.
Can I willpower it too?
Sure.
Then I'm going to do that.
This is
What's the
being a
difficulty?
mage
Oh,
is about.
double zeros. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
2.
Great.
All right, 2 successes. So you both have spent the first hour together, and you have managed to fasten these 2 things together. It makes absolutely no sense. I don't think either of you have any crafting knowledge that would apply here. So it's really more like taking duct tape and just kind of.
I have
Putting
1
it-
dot in craft. Can I
if-
figure it out?
If
don't think
if you're
crafts-
familiar with Warhammer 40K, this is an orc contraption.
Yes.
I don't think
Yes.
hobby level crafting is gonna help you with it.
It works because they believe it
But-
works.
You know, sure.
Is there an engineering? And there's not engineering. So I have academics and
I mean,
science. That's
it
got to
would
help me
fall.
out.
It would fall under firearms or technically
I
like
have-
future technology.
I have firearms. I have 2 dots in firearms.
Sure,
I
you-
have 2 dots in science chemistry.
You know that what you're doing is a very bad idea.
I'm doing it anyway.
You know, you are. All right, but both of you can make 1 more roll.
But
Yeah,
again,
it
with
is
my
awesome.
3 dots in academics, I say logically, my 3 dots in science say this shouldn't be possible. My 3 dots in academics says I've done the math and it should work.
My 4 dots in occult says that anything can happen.
Oh god,
Sure. This is good. Yeah, this is fine.
this marriage is doomed to go up in a fiery ball of something.
My 2
We'll find
dots.
it.
My 2 dots in firearms wants this to happen.
Also 2 dots in fire. Oh,
Oh,
we both like guns.
All right, make your
Guns and
rolls.
science. Who knew?
If you are going to if you each are going to make your 1 more roll, go for it.
Yeah. I'm gonna use the same 2 dice. Lucky dice. Come on. What was the difficulty again? I apologize.
6.
Okay.
Have fun plus 2.
Is it 1 willpower per roll or per what you're trying to do? Help me out.
Per roll.
Per roll. Okay. I don't know what we're shooting for, but using another willpower is 2 successes for me.
Yeah, for me it's 1.
1, so that means you are at 2, so 4, 6, 7 successes so far.
Can I crit on it? The first one was a crit, right? Doesn't it double the? Oh,
Not
or is it only?
You all don't have 4 dots in a sphere at the moment, so 10s don't count yet. I'm sorry, it doesn't count just yet. So I offer the same deal to either of you. You can push yourselves to continue the ritual by rolling your stamina, but if you fail, you risk losing all the progress you've gained. So what do you do?
Well, what progress have we gained? Do
At the moment,
we have
you
a beautiful
feel
50 caliber flamethrower?
Beautiful is debatable, but it is held together. At the moment, with your combined expertise, you feel, first of all, this is probably very dangerous. That is definitely there. And you feel that each time you fire it, there will be a percentage chance for a disaster. But you have kind of added components and duct tape in areas where you feel that you are reducing the probability of disaster with each success.
Cool. I mean, for this marriage, I'll spend all of my willpower.
Why not? Let's do it.
All right.
Let chaos reign, baby.
Roll your stamina at difficulty 6.
Hey, Oliver and Chiharu, stand really close while we do this thing. Let's see how cool this is.
Chiharu is far, far away from this.
Seems safe. It's the worst.
2 more successes. That's again burning a willpower, though.
9. All right, Bonnie, what about you?
2 more successes.
Okay, so you have pushed. So you are able to make another roll. That was the stamina one. So make another Arte roll to add successes to the effect. You had to roll to be able to push your body further.
Oh, I'm changing the dice. 2 other dice. Come on. One success.
1.
Yeah,
Bonnie.
1.
Each. That puts you up to 9. Do you wish to stop with 9, or do you want to keep pushing your luck?
I thought we could only do 2 rounds.
You could keep pushing yourself with stamina rolls.
What's the purpose? I guess is like, help me out. Like, what's the justification for me wanting to try harder?
At the moment, you are reducing the probability. So the way this is going to work, I'll give you guys some behind the scenes. There will be a D100 roll each time you fire the weapon. At the moment, your successes have reduced the difficulty by, we'll say, about 40%, the chance off of 40%. So now if the number is, we'll say, I'll be kinder. If the number is 40 or lower, it means that you will have some sort of very bad consequence. Now, you can't accept that because it doesn't give you a good chance. Or you can push yourself and try and get some more rolls to reduce that bad outcome probability lower.
So we have a 60% chance of success is one way to look at it.
Absolutely. That is one way to look at it.
Harley, what do you want to do? This is your crazy idea. I'm down if you are.
If you wish to push yourself, the difficulty increases by 1 each time. So it'll be a 7 on difficulty 7 stamina roll. You're trying to force your body for.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. Roll stamina, difficulty 7.
You might want to say some of that willpower for the fight fail. I would just say maybe like save like
all I
need
need is this gun. I don't need anything else. This is it. This is the winner right here.
You just need the
gun.
We need the gun, but you don't need anything to fire it. I'm just saying maybe what is well, I mean,
Oliver's just kind of sitting back, crossing.
This is fine. No consequence. There are no consequences.
No consequences. This is beautiful. This is beautiful.
This is fun though. 2 successes.
2. That puts you to 11. Bonnie.
1 success.
I'll take
12.
it.
So that puts you down to an even 25%. So 1 through 25 will be your danger windows. Do you accept this, or do you wish to push your luck one more time?
I feel like we're gambling.
It is gambling.
Totally gambling.
This is 200% gambling. I see this happen before in the last Mage game, and
No
let's just
whammy, no
say,
whammy, no.
yeah, it was such an awesome experience because they somehow went so many rolls and never cracked. But yeah, I
So
mean,
it's
gambling.
possible, is what you're saying. Come on, baby, Dad needs new pair of shoes.
So there's a chance.
So there's a chance, you're saying.
2 dice at difficulty 8 if you wish to push it.
I kind of want to save some in the tank, sweetheart.
She pauses. Is silent long enough to make people squirm. And finally she says, I think this will be sufficient.
And I don't care what anyone says. She's beautiful. Look at this. Look, it's gorgeous. The melding of this metal together, it's...
Let's go find some silver to melt.
Yes, silver.
And she's
What kind of ammunition does this thing come with? I should have checked.
yeah.
I feel like it'll come with, you will get 5 shots. The bullets are silvered, but you think missing, if you miss, you probably aren't getting any parts of the bullet back ever.
Ever. Yeah, no, yeah. They'll be gone.
It's not coming. It's gone completely. But as for the flamethrower, I don't know how to convert liquid into turns. But you could probably get 5 firings of the flamethrower as well.
I would like to set the bullets on fire as they go through, which makes no sense, but hear me out. Magic.
You could absolutely try.
Is there any silver around in the armory?
I would say sure. You could find some silver.
Okay, can I try to melt some silver beforehand?
Where are you going with this?
Well, have you ever seen The Wizard
Sure.
of Oz?
Okay. I'm
Yes.
not sure where this is
Have
going.
you ever
but
seen?
sure.
Have you ever? So, have you seen the scene where Dorothy throws a bucket of water over the Wicked Witch of the West?
Yes.
I'm
melting.
We're gonna do that, except with silver, and
I
instead
want to
of
make
the Witch
sure
of the West,
completely
all dancers.
that your
There's not enough
goal
silver. There's no
is-
way there's enough silver, dude.
I just want to make sure I understand your goal here. Your goal is to throw a bucket of molten metal onto a werewolf.
Yes.
Maybe
know
get
what?
like a cauldron or something and lure them into like a medieval like entryway so you can just dump it on their head, like boiling oil.
Outside of the fact
Um,
that I don't think liquid metal works in the same way water would work.
no,
But you know
it's
what?
better because
You're a
it's harder to
mage.
get off.
You're a mage. So if you want to try something that reckless, you are more than welcome to try it. Who am I to prevent you from following your dreams and goals?
What can
So,
man
I will
do
say-
against such
I
reckless
will
hate?
say you could gather enough silver to do that one time, and it will be a dexterity and athletics roll to throw it.
Nice.
Chiharu's family's gonna be like, where the hell did our silverware go?
Yeah. Where's silver?
Yeah,
Why
I
a
take
bunch
all
of
the
werewolves
silverware.
eating with silverware? What's going on?
I take all of the silverware.
It's
all
This
of it.
hurts. Why am I doing this to myself?
They do not have silverware, but there are. You could find in the armory kind of leftover silvered weapons. There are a few that were clearly meant for the kinfolk to use as kind of last resort style weapons that you could take, that no one's gonna stop you from taking, that you can heat up with the oven, I guess, to melt. And sure, you get a bucket of silver.
One day, one day they're gonna need it and they're gonna go find it, but it's not gonna be there. One day the kinfolk will be tasked to protect this compound and the silver will not be there.
As our cabal takes steps to prepare themselves for what is surely going to be a tough battle, that is where we will end our story for the evening. I thank all of you for staying with me and helping me tell this wonderful story. I did not expect for it to go this direction, but it is wonderful. I thank all of you who are still watching for hanging out with us. Please be sure to check out next week to see how this experiment is going to go for them. It could go very well or very poorly very quickly, and I can't wait to find out. But first, let's have all these wonderful people reintroduce themselves, tell you where you can find them and all the other cool stuff they do. And we're going to start with Sir Monolith.
Hi, I'm Sir Monolith, or at Sir Monolith on Twitter. You can find me there, probably mostly doing stuff on Ree's channel lately. And yeah, just keep an eye out on Ree's channel, and you probably, find out what I'm doing next when one of our other games comes back up.
All right. Quinn, your turn.
Hi, I've been Quinn Sellers here doing some crazy things that I really hope pay off according to fate and chance. I don't know what I'm doing, but it should work out. I'm just saying. That's how magic works. Yeah, so you can find me here or on Twitter at QSellers or the Mercenary Storyteller. Until next time, thanks for hanging out.
All right, next up, Carly.
Hi, I'm Carly. Yeah. Let's see what happens. You can find me here.
I believe in us. I believe in us.
The power of love and firearms.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
I think you have to actually be in love for the power of love to work.
If we believe enough in it, I think you can substitute for the love.
Fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
All right, last but certainly not least, Kira.
Hi, I'm Kira858. This was an absolute blast. I love seeing this madness ensue. I'm also looking forward to seeing my little mage Rock Lee come in, exit the Karen and attempt to go open up the 8 gates on these werewolves. Of course, you'll be able to find all of our content listed on Twitter at thekara858, as well as our TTRPG channel, the Cookout TTRPGs. You also can find all of my content listed at twitch.tv/Kara858, as well as the Cookout TTRPGs on YouTube. We have a wide variety of TTRPG goodness. In terms of upcoming projects that I'll be on, of course, you can be able to find me this upcoming Thursday as we heading towards the season finale of our Expanse campaign. Safe to say we are in danger. The ship has been in all types of hectic mayhem, almost no life support, no communication, and we're stuck in the middle of space. So hopefully we'll come out okay. We shall see. You can also be able to find me on Fridays on the Gremlin Collective, where I'm playing in the opposite end of World of Darkness, the Hunters campaign. So make sure to check us out there. I think it's at 4:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at the Gremlin Collective. Yeah, and that's me.
Oh yeah. Also, you can find me on Twitter at Carly Plays Games.
All right. With that, our wonderful cast has been reintroduced. So please make sure to join us next week to continue this chaotic story. Thank you, and may the paradox be with you.
No, you know what that.
What's that?
Yeah, you know what that.
I very much want that.